All right. Good evening, I believe. Good evening from my end. I believe most of us would be at the evening time. And if peradventure your time is morning or afternoon or midnight or whatsoever time we are in or you are in from your end, a warm welcome to you all. Thank you, everyone. So this is what we want to do. Of course, we all know why we're here. We're to discuss on 3 roles, essentially, and some of the advantages we have within it. But I would be introducing my co-facilitator that are here with me. I would ask them to turn on their cameras also so that they can make a short introduction of themselves and before we start. All right, so I have with me, first of all, I have one of our coaches, one of our tutors by the name Kelly. Is in the UK also. Kelly, please could you, okay, that is your beautiful face. So you're welcome. So he'll be taking the first session for us.
I'm unmuted now. Thank you.
All right. So he'll be taking us through the first session, just very brief, so that we could all be on the same page. Thank you, Mr. Kelly Ushedo. And the second person I would introduce quickly, who I would ask to turn on his camera also and say a few words, is Dr. Olani Ogungbite. I call him my agile lord. I would not want to introduce him. Is a great friend, mentor, and coach, and he has a lot of caps. Doctor, few words from you.
Yeah, thank you very much, engineer. I'm Olani, Agile coach, a product owner, a DevOps engineer. Currently doing a bit of a Splunk to become a Splunk engineer as well. A former university lecturer, and now in the UK.
That's okay, doctor. That's okay.
Thank you very much.
You could be introducing yourself for quite a while, but quite modest. You all would agree with me. I introduced him as a doctor, and introduced himself as Olani, except for those intimidating caps on his head. Mr. Kelly also is a Scrum Master, a product owner, a business analyst, and he's got quite good experience to share also. So without taking so much of our time, all right, I will hand over to our first presenter, and that will be Mr. Kelly Ushedo. Please take it on, over to you. So I'll stop sharing so you could take over from here.
No, I just requested permission.
Yes, I've just granted that also.
All right, thank you.
Okay, so I'll stop sharing, then you could share your screen.
Okay. I think I had this presentation somewhere. I think I prefer to use your screen.
Okay.
Presentation. Let me just use your screen.
Okay, all right, 1 minute. Let me go to the beginning and I'll share my screen back. All right. Can we all see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
All right, beautiful. Over to you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for having me, Mr. Anu. And thank you all for joining. We are all here because because we think or we know we want something different. We want to understand what Scrum Master is all about, what Product Owner is all about, and what it means to be a business analyst. I've been introduced. I'm Kelly Ushedo. I'm a data business analyst, a Scrum Master, a Product Owner, but I prefer to introduce myself with my present role, a data business analyst. However, I have the Scrum certification, I have the Product Owner certification, and that's what I'm here to talk to you about today. The roles of the Scrum Master, Product Owner, and Business Analyst. We are here because we need to transition in our careers. Tech is the in thing, we all know, but not all of us are destined to code. Not all of us are destined to even work in tech. However, there are some parts of tech where we can easily find our roles, where we can easily find jobs, where we can easily master, where we can easily come in with our experience. And those parts are what we are trying to cover in this presentation. So we'll proceed just now. Okay, thank you. So just a little overview. The benefits for agile organizations. There's a thing about being agile these days. A lot of companies are going agile. When I did my Scrum Master certification, I thought going agile was a fad. When Mr. Anu was trying to convince me a few years back about doing the Scrum certification, I said, no, this is the way. All companies will say, okay, we are going this way. And after a while, they'll move to something else and you keep certifying yourself in different things. But I think agile has come to stay, and Scrum is the most popular agile methodology. We'll go to that. So what are the benefits for organizations in being agile? First, it makes them customer focused. Everything is about profitability as an organization. So if you're customer focused, yes, you tend to get a higher market share and you get to be more profitable. It makes them adaptable. You understand that the dynamism in business changes every day, and organizations want to be nimble. They want to make fast decisions. It's no longer about how big your organization is. It's how easy it is for you to adapt. And that is what Agile brings to the table. Then lastly, Agile is cost saving. Gone are the days of bureaucracy of 5 people doing the same task. These days, everybody wants to streamline. Everybody wants to move according to the times, and everybody wants to save costs because there's not much profits to be made. There's not much profit on the table, let's put it that way. So the first way businesses want to arrange their profit margin is by reducing expenses. And in reducing expenses, the first place you want to start with reducing expenses is reducing staff costs, which is always growing in most bureaucracies. However, in agile systems, it works that you can reduce staff costs and still get better results. So that's why companies are going agile. That's why organizations are going agile. And why do they need us? Because they are going agile. It's just simple. We are the agilists, and they need us in order to go agile. That is why we need these trainings. That is why we need to be able to understand this thing. So we guide these companies into implementing agile, into how to be adaptable and how to collaborate, because everyone who works these days has different skill sets. And what agile is about is cross competences. You understand this, I understand this, we come together and we make it work, we make our products work. That's what agile is all about. Implement it. They need us to implement agile, to adapt it, and to collaborate to make their products work. So Agile, Scrum, as I said, Agile is a framework. There's Kanban, there is XP, there is Lean, and there is Scrum. Scrum is the most popular of the Agile framework embraced by organizations. And why do we think Scrum is the most popular? Because with Scrum, you can impute all other frameworks and still get your results. And then there's, I won't say the marketing thing, I won't want to go that way, but with Scrum, you can do a sort of hybrid with other agile frameworks. With Scrum, you can do a sort of hybrid even with your regular waterfall and still get the required results. So a lot of companies are needing Scrum masters or folks who understand Scrum. Even if you're a business analyst, you go for an interview and they ask you, okay, how well can you function on a Scrum team? You have the requisite skills and all, but they want to know how you can adapt to a Scrum team. And that is where we come in as Agilists. So we talk about the roles. Well, about the three major roles. Well, as I said earlier, not all of us can code. Not all of us will be developers. That's another route I really don't know about coding and all. However, we can make impact on these things. We can be tech people per se and get the tech money. I know that's why we're all here. Get the tech money, get the relevance, and get the job satisfaction. It's not enough to just make the money. It's with the knowledge we impart here, you get the job satisfaction, you get everything for the price of one, let me put it that way. So the roles, the Scrum Master is responsible for facilitating the Scrum process. The Scrum Master, as the name implies, is just the person who leads the Scrum process, who leads the Scrum adaptation for the team. Is not a team lead. We don't tend to use that lingua in Agile, but he's a servant leader. It's better that way. So he's teaching while helping, or he's helping to teach, whichever of the phrases works better for you. The product owner is responsible for managing the product backlog. So the way Scrum works, the way it is that there's a product backlog, like I'll just use lay language, a to-do list for the team. So the product owner is responsible for sieving the to-do list and bringing what we need on board. Is the voice of the customer. So the researches or gets feedback from what is needed for the product and then brings it on board for the team to work on. If there are any questions, please just note them down. And the business analyst on some teams rather, the business analyst role and the product owner roles are fused, right? So it's the product owner who does the job of the business analyst and brings everything on board. But on most teams, especially where there is an hybrid system at play, the business analyst still has a job. And the business analyst job is gathering requirements, analyzing data, what have you. Just most of the time it is it's unique or peculiar to the industry or to the organization what your job role will be. However, when you come prepared with all of these things, you can choose your job role. You can even design your own job role within the organization. So the business analyst works closely with the stakeholders, the customers also in some cases, the principals of the businesses, the suppliers, and what have you, and to ensure that the product meets the expectations. So you see where the business analyst and product owner tend to meet on the product and meeting expectations. It's just like they get the data from the customers, get the data from all stakeholders and bring it to the team. Specific responsibilities, Scrum Master will facilitate, the business analyst gather requirements, and the product owner is just about the product, managing the backlog, setting priorities, and ensuring that the team is working on the most important tasks. So when the priorities are set, it is the product owner's role to continue to see that, okay, what we want is what you're doing. That's it. That's the way it works on cross-competent teams. What would we learn now? So I tell people before you delve into this line of learning, I'll put it that way, ask yourself, where is my strengths? Am I better off at managing people or at scheduling or at analyzing? And then, yes, you could learn everything the way we teach it as a package, but then you tell yourself, okay, I want to specialize. You could, when I did my Scrum Master certification, I got my Scrum Master certification and a product owner certification together. And some of my classmates said, okay, I think I'll do the product owner bit. It makes sense to me. Some people said, okay, I'll do the Scrum bit. It makes sense to me. And myself, I said, okay, I'll do the business analyst bit. It makes sense to me because it's the analysis part I like. So you tell yourself, okay, this is what we'll do, this is what we'll do. But specifically on the Scrum Master deal, you learn the Agile methodology, the Scrum framework, and what it takes to be a Scrum Master, what your role will be, what your responsibility will be as a Scrum Master. On the product owner part, you also learn the Agile methodology, the framework, and specificity of your role. So you see, on all of this, you still learn the Agile methodology. You need to understand the methodology in any role, any of these roles you're taking. You need to understand are where you fit in the Agile framework, where you fit in the Scrum framework. You need to understand that. And as a business analyst, you also learn the same thing. But as a business analyst, you also learn a business analysis in the Agile environment. There's business analysis in waterfall. There's business analysis in anything. I believe everybody analyzes their business, right? To an extent, given the tools they have, they analyze their business. But what you learn here is the Agile environment business analysis. You learn your importance, you learn your role, and you learn your responsibilities. Forgive my L and R, I'm Igbo. And you analyze how to analyze enterprises. All of these are intensive trainings. You get what you want. You will be better prepared for the next phase of your career. And before I say thank you, it builds on you. You are here already. It builds on you to know, to do a little more research. While we'll shed light on each of these roles, it builds on you to do a little more research, know where you fit in, know what you want from the next phase. It's not enough to just be particular about getting a job. Doctor talked about his growth pattern now. He's already talking about Splunk, about this. You know where you want to go. This is just a springboard to the next part. So it's not, you have not arrived getting all of these certifications, even if you do get all of them. It's just a springboard to your next part, to make you marketable, to make you job worthy, let me put it that way, and to make you able to go for the next best thing. And thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Ushedo. Thank you for that presentation. Why we needed to do that is to water the ground, make sure that we all have an understanding of what the role in a nutshell is about. The entire 3 roles, just as Mr. Ushedo mentioned, is such that could be seen in all organizations practicing Agile, you know. And what they do behind the scene is that, be it whatever product they have a layer of structure that ensures that their services or products are pushed out. Now, instead of having a complex structure behind, they've now broken that complex structure into smaller teams. So in an organization like Jaguar Land Rover, for instance, because I had the privilege to work there, in one of the departments, they had about 70 teams, 70 different teams. So they had 70 product owners. They had Scrum Masters for all of those teams. So those organizations had broken down all these stuffs into smaller teams, and you could have a Scrum Master, a product owner, or business analyst, as the case could be. Without wasting much of our time, I'll hand over to Dr. Olaniyi, who will give us the second presentation, after which we will now begin to take questions, and some of the gray areas you may have, you may begin to note them down. But what we intended to do, or what we've done, is to have the background understanding of what the different roles are. We could go in more into those details, but we could do some of those later. So, Dr. Laniye, are you ready?
Yes, let me quickly
over to you.
Screen. Okay. Can you see my screen, please?
Okay, it's up.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Good evening once again. And now we want to quickly make you understand the benefits you are going to get from our training. Yeah, let's go straight into it. So we are going to give you 1 month intensive training. Here, I could remember I told engineer Arno, when the first time I did my Scrum certification, we were only being taught just Scrum, and in that particular training, we were just being taught the Scrum ceremonies. And, I know how much I paid for that particular training then. And at the end, after if I mention the name of that company, it's a popular company, but to be sincere, it's just a waste of money then. Before I could get another trainer that trained me, and and I on my own did intensive training, reading, and all those stuff before I could find my way out. So, and all those bureaucracies are what we are going to do for you. We are going to teach you, train you properly to understand all these roles within 1 month. Then, not only that, we are not going to teach you just theory and leave you to it. We are going to, guide you through with projects, with what you are going to meet on the field. We hold you by the hand and telling you, giving you some projects to do, which will be similar to what you meet on the field. For example, you find yourself, because mind you, maybe some of you are having that mind of, oh, it is tech. No, Scrum is not only applicable in tech environment. Like you heard Engineer Anu said that he worked at Jaguar Land Rover. I was opportunity to work at Jaguar Land Rover as well. And, and before I left Jaguar Land Rover, I have 2, 3, 4 of our trainees that the people we trained that were employed by Jaguar Land Rover before we left there. So, and some of them, when it was after I and Engineer Anu got appointment there, and we were able to train them, give them the basic knowledge of what they do in that environment. We build car, Jaguar Land Rover, and using different projects. So when they got to the training, to the interview, they were able to relate with interviewers with some of the projects that relate with what they do in Jaguar Land Rover, and that give them a kind of a soft landing, so that they got the job. And hands-on agile tools. So some of the tools that we use in Agile, like Jira, DevOps, version 1, Rally, Confluence, and so on and so forth. Those tools we will definitely teach you. Though we know that Agile is not only about the tools, but for you to show that you have the experience when you get to the interview, when you get on the job, you need to learn some of these tools, and you can easily transfer knowledge of one tool to another. So we are going to teach you some of these tools and how to use them. Access to our digital resources and community of practice. So this one, we have so many ebooks that you can read, that you can rely on, and you can easily get some necessary information from. We have some of these ebooks. And not only that, we have our COP, Community of Practice, where we gather together, we ask people, we ask them to, if those that are on the job already, those that are preparing for interview, even those that are still undergoing the training, we gather them together, they ask questions, people on the job, we tell them what the challenges they are facing and how they are being able to resolve it. And we are not going to leave you guys until you land your job. So throughout the training, till you land the job, we are going to deal with you, prep you for interview from time to time. We usually have a mock interview where people do ask questions. Sometimes we even invite some of our other friends, other agile coaches from different organizations to come to serve as an interviewer, and he or she will be throwing questions to some of our trainees that are preparing for interview, and they will be responding, and we will record it and play it to them where they make mistakes, things that they're supposed to say, what they are not supposed to say. All these are what we are going to offer you. Then support for resume, which is very, very important. Apart from doing the training, I could remember, after I did my first Scrum training, I don't want to mention the name of that organization. You know, I just went online and copy all these CV, whatever, online, and I submitted it on different job boards. And believe me, after like 4 months, no single invite for an interview. I was like, what's wrong? There's something wrong with this CV. And after that, you know, I have to retrain again, and I was able to understand all the gimmicks around the CV. I was able to repackage my CV, and within the first month that I submitted my CV, I was able to get an interview, and within that month, I was able to land a job. And within that same month, I landed the second job. So I was working as a Scrum Master with 2 different organizations, and was earning a huge sum of money, which I think many of you can as well do. The like of Engineer Ano can as well. Those are the people shopping the money in the UK. As a matter of fact, one of our trainee just got another job. He is currently working as agile performance lead in an organization, which I don't want to mention. And currently, he just got a product owner job again. So making roughly like 120,000 pounds per annum now. Yeah. So on the job support. So even when you landed the job, we don't want to leave you to it, because the first 3 months we definitely be on probation, and we want you to pass your probation. So whatever challenges you are facing, we are with you. Like one of recently, you will remember Engineer Anu, one of our guys that just got a delivery manager role. He came to me, showed me the Jira board. Can I make sense out of what is on the board? And I was able to point him through, look at this, ask these necessary questions from your team, from your project manager, from your other senior delivery manager, ask all of them this following question. And he was able to ask those questions. And all of them were just looking at him like, wow, the solution has come. You know? So even on the job, we are going to support you all through. And if there is any other necessary questions that you may want to ask, we will be there for you. Those are the things we will definitely do for you. So in terms of your certification, when you have your Scrum Master certification, because I know many of us, which are the mistakes some of our trainees do make, and we do correct them, that you have a Scrum Master certification doesn't mean that all what you can apply for is just Scrum Master role. So you can apply as a project manager, agile project manager, transformation project manager, agile delivery manager, agile coach, release manager, Scrum Master. You can as well apply for change manager. You can apply for lead, team lead. You know, because some organizations that still practice a bit of waterfall, and they want someone with agile experience to support the team. So they need a Scrum Master, though they won't call the person Scrum Master, they would rather call the person team lead. Then we can also apply for role like agile performance lead and all those roles. So we are not only applying for just Scrum Master. So with your Scrum Master certification, you have a whole lot of roles that you can apply for and get the job. And also for your product owner certification, you can as well apply for business development manager, product manager, business analyst, innovation manager, product owner, product initiative manager. Yeah, those are the roles you can apply for with your project. With your product owner certification. And for your business analyst certification, you have customer experience analyst, process improvement analyst, business analyst, business consultant, business system analyst, product owner, and so on. So those are these roles you can apply for with your business analyst certification. So you are not limited to just business analyst. So even when you are searching for job, if you type in business analyst, you will see a whole lot of roles with different titles, different from what you are searching for. So what you just need to do is we will definitely teach you. It's part of what we teach you, how to search for job on Indeed and other job boards, teach you how to search for job and guide you through how you can, how you will know the one that is right for you to apply for. What would it cost? Yeah, this is where I know some of us will be like, do I have the money? But the fact is that I'm very sure if you go to any other platform, they may promise you come and do it £200. But the fact is that they won't give you the quality, the value that you needed, the value that will guide you through, that will make you to land the job. They won't give it to you. And this is one of the cheapest rates you can find with all those things that we've stated. This would be the cheapest. And with this, even if you spend this, landing the job, I could remember, before I started trying to enter more into tech, I could remember there was a time that my salary in a month is over £12,000, and then easy job, no stress, sitting at the comfort of my room, doing things, doing 2 jobs at the same time and earning good money, So this is nothing. Even the first training that I said I did, and it was just a waste of money before I did the second one. The two together, my 1 month, at least I can deduct times 4, times 5 of it from my salary, from my 1 month salary. So this is nothing. The most important thing is for you to do the right thing that can relieve you of all these care job, factory, and all those stuff that will stress you out. And the funnest part of it, like I used to discuss with Mr. Ano and with so many other people that have landed professional job. Professional job, they do say, the whites, you don't play. When you get to white job, you need to work harder before you have the money. But I'm telling you, it's a total lie. As a matter of fact, in my current organization, once it is 12 o'clock, you see us just gisting, talking, and nothing to do again. But in care, you work your 12 hours all through, no rest, no sleep, and you understand what I'm talking about. But with all this professional job, you enjoy your life. You enjoy your life, no stress, and you will make a good money. Added benefit. So, the management, we decided that, okay, for those that are going to register within 24 hours, we are going to give them a coupon that will even reduce this price a bit down, so that we just want to encourage everyone, want to see Nigerians doing well, rather than doing, for example, if you're a company like Jaguar Land Rover that have thousands of people, we notice that we have so many Indians. Why are we finding few Indians in Kia, in all these factories? We find them in all those higher places. Why? Because they give themselves necessary information that could help them, and that is exactly what we want. Now, like I said, before I left Jaguar Land Rover, I make sure that at least 4 of those that we trained got job there. And it's not that we are the one that give them the job, but we give them the necessary information. We guide them through to land the job. So that is what we do, and that is what we continue to do. So we have this 24 hours coupon voucher for those that want to register now. You are free to register now and have a reduced price. Thank you very much. Please, if you have any question, you are free to ask now. Thank you very much. Over to you, engineer. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Doctor. 1 minute. Let me show my face. Our people say na face. What do they? Okay. Olu Taiwo, over to you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. That was awesome. Just a quick one. When is the program starting, please?
Okay, we have different batches that run month in, month out. One batch just ended The 1 month intensive program runs for 1 month. So a batch just ended. After that batch ends, we roll them over into the practical, right?
Okay.
So the 1 month intensive training is for, because this is a new environment now. You need to know the nitty-gritty, right? So
Yeah.
the 1 month is to focus on the nitty-gritty. So you have all the adequate knowledge. After that, we now roll them over into the practical, where we share experience. Our people say, permit me to use my local language. You know, where you earn experience from others, right? Where we treat interview questions and all the rest. So we have batches month in, month out. So the next batch should start up next week. We're looking at Thursday or Friday next week that the next batch would start up. Thank you.
I think I also heard Doctor mention something on voucher.
Okay.
So what percentage is that taken away?
Okay, the voucher, sorry, we forgot to add that to the presentation. It's a discount of 20%, which is very huge. But just as you mentioned, it will last for just 24 hours so that we can plan ahead. Now, a few other things that we may want to know. I know some of us may ask questions regarding it. So let me answer some of them. We have flexible classes also. We have classes in the morning, some in the afternoon, some in the evening, to create space for our people to take advantage of this. Because again, we need to go to the factory work and or the cares or the rest, so that we can create time. So we have some that may be interested in doing weekdays. Some could be doing weekends. So those who do weekdays cannot do weekend. Those who do weekends cannot do weekdays. So if a student picks morning classes, you can't switch to afternoon classes. You know, it's flexible for you to pick, but so that we can follow you through, what you pick is what you stick with at the same time. So I don't know if I've answered the question.
Thank you.
All right. Any other person? Okay. Paul.
Okay, good evening from here. I just wanted to know if the fees remain the same for people who are outside UK. I'm actually in Nigeria, so I wanted to know if it remains the same for us.
Okay, well, statutorily, they are the same, but I wouldn't want to say that there may be some benefit for people in Nigeria. But again, we may not be able to ascertain who is in Nigeria and who is not. Oh, we forgot something. Give me one moment. Let me do. We also, for people in the UK, US, Canada, or so, wherever you could have Klarna. Klarna is a financial institution that allows for flexible payment plan. We are a merchant with Klarna, and that allows you to do instrumental payments also, 3 installments. So with Klarna, you'll be able to make your payments in installments. And the beautiful thing with that means that if somebody, for instance, take advantage of that voucher, you have a 20% discount in the first instance. You now use Klarna to spread it again. So meaning starting up, you just be paying 20% less spread in 3 months. And I think that is a beautiful thing. I don't know if I've answered the last question.
Kind of, because Glory, hold on. It's because I even wanted to know if it's just targeted towards people in UK, or if it's open, and then if we are going to be paying from Nigeria, you can understand what's going on with the exchange rates and all that. It's never stable. So I just wanted to know if you guys would even have any provisions for that.
Yes.
That's what I wanted to show.
Okay. I would drop my contacts. You could relate across to me. Let's see some of the options we could go around. That's okay.
Okay, no problem.
All right, thank you. Blessing, please.
All right, thank you very much for the section. I am kind of about to ask the same question the previous guy just asked now, because being in Nigeria, no, I don't want to play the PT game here right now, but this is something that I am kind of very much interested in. Okay, I think you said you drop your contact so
Yes,
we can communicate with you. And also, I would like to ask, after one is done with having the skill by the 1 month training and the CV revamp and co, can someone get sponsorship jobs from Nigeria? Nigeria, can I get sponsorship jobs?
Okay, now 2 things we do not do. We do not give sponsorship. Secondly, we do not help people to get jobs. We support them to get jobs. Someone sent a message across to me some days back and asked, would you help us to get job? Would that be sponsorship? No, we do not give sponsorship and we do not help people to get job. We would support you to get job. You need to put in the effort. One of our students, she did the training from the US. She's in the US. She just got a 3rd job 3 weeks ago, and she's been paid $145,000 per annum from one job. That's even more than what even me I am from one job there, right? So that's a good job, and so you need to put in the effort. You need to follow the instructions that you're given. We'll give you specific instructions how to begin to apply for jobs. When I did my training those years back, I applied for jobs vigorously. There are certain hours of the day that I apply for job. For instance, I wake up around 4 a.m. and I will apply for job till 6 a.m., 2 hours in the day. By 10 a.m., they will start calling me already that, oh, we saw your CV and all the rest. So there are a lot of tips we will use to support you to walk that journey. We won't walk the journey for you, but we will be there to support you every step of the way. But we do not do COS. There are organizations that do COS. Some, maybe not in the UK, but there are other international jobs. One of the folks we trained in Nigeria got a job from Denmark. Denmark may not pay as much as what US, Canada, or Australia pay. Those 3 countries, they pay the highest, even above UK. But Denmark pays very well too. South Africa pays very well also. So beyond that, we want to leave Nigeria. We could have those advantage to get international jobs. One other thing that I need to add quickly is that there is a preparedness for interview that you go through. That when you go for that interview, you just know that this is a walkover. If they don't call you for the next stage, you would say inside you that something would have gone wrong because you would be so prepared. It's like when you've seen the similar questions and you've prepared ahead of time. So apart from the intensive training, we would now do intensive on the job or hands-on, taking you through the practical, sharing experience with you. One of the people we mentored here in the UK is in Sunderland. He got a job last month and his pay was 64,000 per annum. In actual sense, he made use of the experiences from the class for his interview and he landed the job. So those are some of those things. I believe I've answered your question.
Let me permit me to also add to what you've said.
Okay.
While a lot of people want an assurance of a job, and that's a good marketing strategy. Once you do this, in 3 months you get a job. I don't think those things are real. It's not true. Everything has to do with the effort you put in.
Exactly.
And then while you are putting in the effort, one thing you always need is the encouragement, because there'll be a time where you just keep getting unfortunately. So
Exactly.
there'll be times when you have to tweak your CV. There'll be times when you have to record your interviews, so we can sit down and panel beat your interviews. Okay, you didn't get this question well, you didn't do this. So you need that support all through. But if we were to sit down here and tell you, whenever you do it, within the next 3 weeks, you get a job, that would be a scam. Because we don't know how you present yourself in an interview. We don't know a lot of things about you. So, but you need that support. It's a long stretch. It could be a short one, it could be a long stretch, but you need that support every step of the way in order for you to land that job. You need to send the CVs. When we did that, we were sending CVs at least 15 a day, not just sending CVs, full application. You go to their site, you write this, you write cover letter, you send, you go to the next one, you arrange. It's a full job looking for a job.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it is worth it.
Yeah.
It is worth it.
Yeah. Let me quickly add to that. The first interview I ever did, when I came back from my work on a Friday, I sat down to prepare. That interview was on a Monday. I prepared all through the weekend for that interview. All through the weekend, I did not sleep out to 2 hours from Saturday evening till Monday morning. I did not have my bath. I did not even brush my mouth. I was just on my desk and preparing and preparing and preparing. On Monday, I went for that interview. A good job, remote, fully remote. And I was asking for 75K, and they said it's within our budget. Unfortunately, I did not get that job, even putting up so much effort. But that was the journey that led to several jobs. I'd walked out of a job recently because I felt it was stressful. And I told my line manager, I said, I'm one of the best Scrum Masters and Agile coaches in town. If I dust my CV today, every organization wants me. And at that time, I was actually doing 2 jobs, so I had the liberty to work. That is the extent of preparation that goes into it. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Aken.
All right, please, quick one. Thank you very much. I actually understand the point you're going through. Yes, I understand the fact that preparedness from the applicant's end, amongst other factors, which every normal human being ought to push for his or herself when one is seeking for stuff like this. I quickly want to also ask that are there remote jobs one can also do with such skill and certification from Nigeria? And also, are there organizations in Nigeria that need such skill that one can maximize there any time one can relocate?
Beautiful question. Thank you for that question. I checked for some of our folks that I checked with them that we trained from Nigeria some time ago. And we noticed that some oil companies are embracing Scrum more. Even a few banks, they are embracing Scrum. That was late last year, before the election palavers started. And we saw some that were offering as much as 600, 700,000 for a Scrum Master role in Nigeria. I mentioned that some of our students in the past from Nigeria worked remotely, got a job from Netherlands and Denmark, and another one in South Africa. So there are remote jobs. Even in the UK, there are remote jobs. I work fully remote. I'm speaking to you from my home office. So there are remote jobs. You may need to do more before you get remote jobs, but there are remote jobs as well too. Thank you. Any other hands Timmy, please. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for this enlightenment. So my concern is, would there be certification for the combined course? Like if I'm to enroll for the 3, will I be certified for the 3?
Okay.
And also, by combined, do you mean 2 or the 3? So just to be sure, if you're talking about the 2 or 3.
Okay, combine is 2, Scrum Master and Product Owner, then Scrum Master and Business Analyst. Except you really want it, there may not be a reason for you to do Product Owner and Business Analyst, because most of the curriculum are very similar. They have business analysts have some more specific things. Product owner has some more specific things, but they started in the same way. So somebody that puts in for a product owner role can evolve into the business analyst role. Somebody from business analyst role can evolve into the product owner role. So the combine is just 2, Scrum Master with product owner, Scrum Master with business analyst. When I did my training those years back, I did for Scrum Master and Product Owner. And one of the advantages for me was that I had this beautiful introduction during interviews, right? And I introduced myself saying, I'm a certified Scrum Master. I don't even rush it. I tell them so they would hear, I'm a certified Scrum Master and certified Product Owner, giving me the edge to be able to support the product owner well and guide the product owner. In a nutshell, the Scrum Master role is the guardian and conscience of Scrum itself. So you own Scrum. The product owner works within Scrum. So for somebody that has both, you present yourself better. So let's say you're going for a business analyst role and you're introducing yourself as a Scrum Master and certified business analyst. That projects you better to, selling yourself. Now, quickly to the other question about certification. All those programs end in certification. And the certification is not UK certification. It's not Nigerian certification. It is global certification. The organizations that designed the roles, they have certification. For Scrum Master, you could have Scrum.org, Scrum Inc., Scrum Alliance, and the rest like that. So the certification is included in that program, is built into it. Then we would also prepare you for the certification. We will not do certification for you, but we would prepare you for the certification at the same time. I believe I've answered your question. Next.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I am Ade John, please.
Yeah, good evening. Sorry, I joined late. So I just want to ask you, do you do this frequently? Like, is it every weekend or scheduled, maybe once in a month? Because I would like to attend to start to understand it better.
You mean what we're doing now or the training?
Yeah. No, this introduction platform.
We do not do it every weekend. It takes a lot of preparations. We have some classes at the weekends. So we actually shelve some of those classes. In actual sense, Mr. Ishedo is one of our facilitators. By 8 now, is meant to have dropped off. So we do not do this every weekend, right? We do it periodically. I may not be able to say when we will do another one, but I believe we are recording this session. If my whatever serves me right, we are recording the session. So you could reach out to me at the end of this session. I could send the recording to you.
Okay, and another question is,
please.
You said you the classes will have to be probably in the morning, afternoon, or evening, or weekend. So what time and how much earning? I mean, like what time do you do the programming? If it is in the morning, like between what time to what time and how long? But is it every day or probably maybe interval?
Okay, beautiful question. I think somebody sent that question in the chat also, and I'll answer that quickly. Our classes are at an average of 2 hours, and we do 3 times in a week, right? We make it flexible. Just as I mentioned, a student doing morning will not do afternoon, will not do evening. Why we made it such is that those who work at night could settle for morning or afternoon class. Those who work in the morning could settle for evening classes. We make it flexible. Let's take that structure further, because for those who now want to sign on, there's a different form they would fill indicating their interest in time, either weekdays or weekend, then their preference too. So we'll look at the average before we fix the time. The class itself runs monthly, right? A class just ended this week, today is Saturday, this week. So another class is starting next week. So we would now collate all of them and see the like times before we communicate that across. But we have for morning session, afternoon session, evening session. We have for weekdays, then weekend. Those who do weekend will do 3 hours for Saturdays and Sunday. Those who do weekdays will do 2 hours 3 times. So that will make 6 hours.
6 hours.
Yes.
6 hours. Okay.
Yes.
And this question, maybe I will ask you when I call you, because probably I'm thinking of going for the business analyst actually. Before you now said it's a combined course, maybe business and Scrum Master.
Yeah, there's the single also. If you just want Scrum Master alone, business analyst alone, or product owner alone, you could.
Actually, my concern is what is the minimum requirement? I mean, does the person have to have a business degree?
That's the minimum
funny, right? Does the person have to have a business degree, or whether maybe someone with maybe an engineering degree can do business analyst and Scrum Master, or someone with other degrees? It doesn't require.
Quickly, for the sake of time, are you in Nigeria or in the UK?
No, I'm in UK right now.
Okay, now in the UK, for instance, it is whatever. When you go for interviews, what they want to see is just 2 things: your competence, that you know what you claim you know, and the confidence, right? So, and these 3 roles has nothing to do with coding. So somebody that was a medical doctor transitioned to it. So you don't need to have a specific thing. And that's why we have 1 month intensive training, so that you can have the groundwork or the ground understanding, well-grounded information to start up with, before we now roll you over to the practicals. So when you get to the practicals, we are relating based on what you have been taught. We are now bringing it to the field, what you found on the field, how you deal with it, what you need to do. Exactly.
In addition to that, somebody like me, I'm a biologist, a university lecturer, and but now I've coached so many agilists. As a matter of fact, currently in my current organization, I have a business analyst that just been converted to a product owner, and she knew nothing about Agile, so I am like a personal coach to her. I'm the one coaching her to make her understand how things work in Agile environment. Even now, 2 of my project managers as well, I'm coaching them to make them understand to become Agile project manager. Yeah. So you don't need to have a project management degree, all those stuff. No. So all what you need is just the training, understand it very well. And that is why we are here, to make you, as a matter of fact, because here in the UK, what they need is that experience. You can't tell them you have zero experience and you want them to employ you. They won't give you the job. So we have to package you well. So if you are claiming you have 3 years experience as a Scrum Master, then you must sound like somebody that has 3 years experience. And that is why we need to coach you, give you that practical experience, what is happening on the field. Because theoretically, there are some things we tell you in Scrum what you're supposed to do, but when you get to the field, things are quite different from the theory. And if you get to the interview, you are speaking the theory, they know that this person is just speaking the theory. He doesn't have the practical experience. It's just maybe he has packaged the CV. So they don't want that. They want person with a practical experience. So that is just it. Thank you.
Okay. Let me quickly take some questions from the chats. So we can balance both sides. Are we going to be certified with each of the training? I've answered that. With a science background, how do I translate to this training into my career path in environmental studies? Those 3 roles, they've got to do with project management or product management. So it's in the project management portfolio, managing projects, right? So with the knowledge you have, you can transit from anywhere. How many days a week? I've answered that. Thank you for this privilege. I want to ask if there is room for installmental payments. I've answered that also, particularly for those in the UK or US or Canada. You could use Klarna to make installmental payments. For people in Nigeria, please chat with me. I would drop my contacts when we finish. So please let's talk. Let's look at what could work for our people back home. Please, what's the quality of certificate? Beautiful question. I think I've answered that also. The certificate is global certificates. Certificates that those who created the roles, they are giving you. And when you earn it, anybody can go online to verify it. So it's not like Jenge certificate. Which is more important, the experience on the job or the certificate? Good question. From where we have come from, we feel certificate is more important. But here in the UK, it is the experience. You even get some roles that you don't need certificates for. Some roles will tell you that certificate is an added advantage, right? So they don't need it. Because when they call you for an interview, they will ask you questions. I've been to an interview, 3 stages interview before, that the second phase, there were 6 persons that interviewed me, 6 persons. I was just looking at that. What's wrong with all of you? But I didn't mind. At least 2 persons will not ask questions at the same time. You ask your own, you ask your own, you know. So it's the experience that counts more, but the package is included with the certificates. Are there certification we need to take after the training? I've answered that. Also, can the hands-on project count as work experience? Yes, the hands-on would count for you as work experience because you will be exposed to it. You would work, you have projects, the real field, right? The real field that you can lay claim to as your own experience too. And that really is experience. I would like to ask a question, please. Okay. How much is the training in Naira? I cannot answer that now. Let's see. I'll kindly drop your contact details. Give me one more. Awesome session here. Well done. I want to know if the certificate is included in the 1K. Yes, it's included. Please, I would like to clarify something. Does the payment 800 per 1,000 cover the Scrum certification exam? Yes, it does. When you pay for any, it covers the certificate. We built it within it. I tell you, I've had a guy or an organization that does only Scrum training and they charge £3,000 for it. I'm not kidding you. If you want me to, after this, you could reach out to me. I could even share the contact with you so that you could confirm yourself. £3,000 for the Scrum role. And it's not with certificate too. Is there an opportunity for placement for those in the UK? When you said placements, I don't understand. Please, let's expand on that later so that I can understand. Hello, Mr. Anu, kindly send me the Zoom recording. This is my email. Okay, we would put that together. Also, can I have your contact? I'll drop my contact. I want to know when next the program will run because I don't know if I'll be able to combine the training with my final year thesis. The next training should start by next week, should start by next week, all things being equal. Excuse me, I need the recording also, we'll do that. When does the 24-hour voucher ends? It starts, okay, this is how the voucher works. Those who need it should contact me. We have just a few, but those who need it should contact me. So we'll generate it and we'll give you the guide how to use it. You go to our website, so you will add the coupon code on the website to make payments. That's how it works. But those who need this should please contact me. Please draw your contact. I'll do that. What is the cost of the certification? What's the cost of the certification we need to take after the training? No, the certification is included in the training. That is to Abimbola. So when you pay for it, you have paid for the certification when after the training. How much is the cost? I just joined. A program, there are 3 courses, Scrum Master, Product Owner, Business Analyst. Each of it is £1,000. If you want to combine 2, either Scrum Master with Product Owner or Scrum Master with Business Analyst is £1,500. So that's discounted already. Those who take advantage of the 24-hour voucher would have 20% discount on the discount. So I think that's too beautiful. We can't even do more than that. How much is the cost? Is the training sometimes, is training something I can combine with my master's? Of course, you could. I need the recording as well, okay? So if I've answered your question, please lower your hands. I'll go back quickly to those who have their hands raised now. Abimbola, please unmute yourself and quickly, please.
Hello, thank you for having me, Mr. Anu. You've answered majority of the questions, but however, I still want to ask this. As you know, there are lots of training platforms out there.
Yeah.
And I feel like not all of them stick to their promises.
Okay.
So I just want to know, are you going to be able to do all this that you've stated you are going to do? All those, I know we have a lot to do. We are going to have to put in the efforts, but you know, helping with our resume, on the job help and all that, and then helping us get the experience, because you know, in the UK, if you have thousands of certificates, it doesn't matter. It's the experience they want. So I just want to be assured that after this 1 month, you're not going to forget about us. That's my question. Thank you.
Engineer,
okay, doctor.
if you permit me to
Okay, go ahead, doctor. Go ahead, doctor.
You know, at the beginning of my presentation, I mentioned that I did a training with one of the popular training organization, and nothing after the whole training. As a matter of fact, I gained nothing. I did the exam, the Scrum Alliance certification exam. I did it on my own. I read on my own to do nothing, no assistance whatsoever. But over the years that we have been training people, like I mentioned, 4 people I can boast of in Jaguar Land Rover alone, that we held their hand like this and they got job in Jaguar Land Rover. It's not that we helped them to apply; they applied themselves. They got shortlisted. But at the interview stage, we fortunately for me, you know, even Mr. Anu as well, we do record so many interview sessions, which we now give to our trainee listening to this, listening to mistakes we made here. I remember then, engineer, you remember Santander Bank, you know, how I messed up myself, and you know, and I was using it as an example, bad example, which they should not make the mistakes I made that I don't want them to make. So those are the things we do. We as a matter of fact, there was a time I usually apply, not that I'm looking for a job, just for me to get the latest interview questions in this space. And once we get the questions, we bring it to we take it to our community of practice, we throw it out, we ask the same question. What if you come across this type of question? How will you attend to it? You know, and we correct. We even, there was a time we usually do a kind of introduction. You know, so just to make sure that people get the knowledge that they needed for them to land the job. So to be sincere with you, from the beginning to the end, we are going to stick with the promises that we have made. And by the special grace of God, once you put in your own effort, then we are definitely going to put in our own effort. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Doctor.
Doctor, I'd like to add to that, please.
Sorry. Okay.
I'd like to add to that. I was explaining to somebody earlier today, if you were to go by yourself and do all of these things and get the interviews and everything, you'd have to read, let's say, 100% for ease of for just explanation's sake. You have to read 100% to be ready. But what we will do for you is we'll help you funnel, we'll help you filter what you need to prepare with. Do you understand? If you go to YouTube, for instance, today and say, okay, questions for so-and-so interview, you'd see a list, you see thousands of videos, and you can't watch all of these videos before an interview. So we have done all of these things. We've had the experience. We've also had input from others. What we can do is help you filter it and say, okay, look at these 5 videos and prepare yourself along this line. Do these things and prepare yourself. Yes, you get the job, and you need to do your part of, okay, you know what we're talking about. You need to reach out, and then we'll also assist you. Okay, this is what you need to do part-time. This is what you need to do part-time. But for being there, for being available, yes, there will be times, because we are also doing our full-time jobs, even though they are remote roles. There will be times you will chat and nobody will answer you. It's the truth. We are humans. We could chat. I may not respond to your chat for like another 3 hours. The onus is on you to keep at it. I called you earlier, please call back and stuff like that. And yes, we're humans. We'll always get back to you. It's a commitment we have made, and we'll try our possible best. But it's for you not to give up along you want the answer. No, you keep at it, and we'll do our possible best to get back to you, to follow up on what needs to be done and make sure you make headway. Because it's sensible to us so that at the end of the day, you are happy with the services and you are established where you are. It works for us that way too.
Okay, thank you so much. I wanted to add to the person that asked, I guess that should be Abimbola. 2 things we will not do. We will not sit for the exams for you. That's the certification. We will not sit for your interview for you, but we will support you with everything you need. If you could follow the instructions that are given, and you could put in the time and the effort and the concentration, I tell you, when you go for interview, you would feel that this is a walkover. You will just know. You'll just be smiling. If the last set of interviews that I did, right, last year, I did some interviews. This year now, I've not done any interview this year. Last year, I did some interview. One of it, I did not even know the name of the organization that I was doing interview with on the interview day. That was crazy. I was just using scope. That okay. They then asked me that. So how did you get about our interview? What gave you the interest? I just said, when I went online, I saw your adverts and I went to check the organization, I checked your company and saw what you are doing. I didn't check anything. I didn't know the name of the organization. But the questions they asked me, I was just smiling and just answering them. I was just bombarding them. And at the end of the day, they gave me the job. When I resumed, my line manager said he needed to call me to say while they were interviewing me, they penciled me down as an agile coach because I was just having fun. When they said, when next will you want to do the next? They did 3 stages. The second stage was when 6 people came to interview me. I was just relaxed. I was just answering them because you would know the first set of interviews that I ever did after my training. I'm telling you honest truth. I record about 98, 99% of all my interviews. I cannot go back and listen to my first set of interviews because I said absolutely beautiful nonsense there. If I listen to them, I will say, I know fumble gone. But now it's a walkover. I don't prepare for interviews again. I'll just say, okay, when do you want to have it? Let me check my calendar. And I'll give them an availability because you know it. So that is the process we want to take you. If you put in the effort, I was telling, I granted an interview some days ago, and I was telling the person, I said, the last time that I worked at the weekend in the UK was 2021, because I had no reason to work at the weekend. And my regular day, if I tell you what my regular day is about, I have fun. The last class that we did, there was a session that I made them to listen to my day at work. I was just having fun at work. And I tell you, I have one peace of mind that money can buy. I talk too much, so please let me go ahead.
Thank you very much, Mr. Arnold.
All right. So Peter, quickly.
Hi, thanks very much. It's been a very interesting session. 2 quick questions I want to ask. The first one is for the combo, the business, the BA, and the Scrum Master. I know the Scrum, because I've done the Scrum exam, it's pretty straightforward, but the BA can be a bit more complicated. So does the certification also cover the BA? That's the first one.
Yes, anything you put in for, you would write the certification at the end of it.
So that would be CBAP.
And we're going to prepare you for that. You know, business analyst has different levels, right?
Yes, so that's
So
also
you need
supposed
to
to be my
start
second.
from the beginning. The basic one is what you write first.
Okay, then the second question is, I also know that business analysis has a number of strands. So when Kelly introduced himself as a data business analyst. That's one of the problems I usually have with people that say they do BA training. Is so for your training that comes in combination with Scrum, do you channel it, say maybe towards software development or process business analyst? What is it?
No, we do not. And I tell you, is somebody answering? Is that doctor?
Yeah, no, it's Kelly. I want to respond to that. So sorry, I didn't get your name.
Peter.
Peter. Okay,
Yes.
Peter, the way it works as a business analyst is we'll give you the basics of being a business analyst, right? I myself, I'll tell you the truth. I did not do holistic business analyst training. I did the Scrum Master, I did the product owner, but I didn't really like the concept of being a Scrum Master. I'll tell you. It's just in my head, it's just go for meeting. It was just like being a class captain. You don't make noise, okay? You talk, and you don't talk. No, sorry, I'm not seeing your face now. But that's the way I felt about being a Scrum Master. So I focused more on business analyst books and stuff, and then I prefer the data part. Are you getting me? I like data and everything. So you see roles advertised in, you can see process business analyst. So what it just means is that at the interview, your questions will be around the processes, improving processes and stuff. You'll see IT business analyst. At that kind of interview, what they want to know is how IT savvy you are. The data business analyst, what they wanted to know is, at the interview where I got the data business analyst job is, okay, can you work with SQL? How comfortable are you? Because the role is just that at the end of the day, what they want you to be able to do is, once you get feedback from stakeholders, you don't have to call one of the developers and say, help me check this, help me check this. You can go by yourself and do what you need to do on SQL. When you're making your presentations, you can use Power BI to make your presentations better. That's just and then you have the data business analyst, the data in front of your title. But it's just different industry or different organizational practices. You could be a regular business analyst and they still require you to be able to use SQL at the organization. Do you understand? So it's not, you just need the business analyst training, know all of the steps, all of the, how to do the business user processes and everything, the stories, and it's just the basics. There's a book about it, there are practices about it, the analysis you need to know and all. So once you know that basic, you can adapt it to the parts you are most interested in. I myself am most interested in that data analysis kind of thing. So I adapted it to that part and found my feet there. Does that answer your question, please?
Yes, it does. Thanks very much. It does.
Thank
Thank
you. I'm sorry if I got your name pronounced wrongly. Yes, please. Go ahead. Please unmute yourself. We cannot hear you, or I cannot hear you. Any other person? You are still on mute. I think we've lost her. Any other person before we round off? So I've dropped my contacts. I left my name, my phone number. You could contact me on WhatsApp, call, or chat, or text. And I left the company email address. You could reach out to me also. Mr. Oshedo may not pick calls. I would respond to your chat. If I do not pick your calls, in the last few days, I think I've responded to God knows how many communications. So if it may not be immediately, but I would definitely respond.
I'm a changed man. I pick calls now. Thank you. I pick calls.
Terrible person. Okay, Abdul Wasil, please, quickly. You can unmute yourself. Okay.
Yeah, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, concerned about the training. What is there any other day apart from this next week Thursday that is starting? Is there any other month, maybe like September, October?
Yes, we run it monthly. So they are batch by batch, right? There had been a time that we started in 2 batches in a month, but it was quite hectic, so we needed to stop that. So we run it monthly. After July, there will be the August batch. So what we do is that for your 1 month intensive training, after the 1 month, you roll over to the practical session, right? So the batch that are just finishing now, they are rolling over to the practical session. When July finishes, we'll roll them into that practical session with them. And it will be interactive, project-based. We'll give you, there are lots of work. We have lots of resources. Doctor mentioned books. We have audio books, we have ebooks. We'll give you most of them that you would expand your knowledge. Beyond just Scrum, there are other things you may pick interest in. For instance, I'm trained in Scrum, I practice Kanban, I practice Lean, I practice extreme programming. And those are some of the jokers that I use during interview. I have this beautiful 3 to 7 minutes introduction. If I give you my introduction like this, you just know that, wow, we have somebody for the job, you know. those are some of the things we will teach you also, how to sell yourself based on competency. But it's not that you now have a beautiful introduction, they'll now ask you one question, then you fumble, you know. So that is how it is. So the training are in batches. Thank you.
Also, sorry, also, I'm concerned about this CV stuff because many of us, I think, we are writing CV wrongly because I've applied for different jobs and I'm not even getting a single interview. So concerned about this interview coaching stuff, maybe like just teach us how to like use all this job role and apply inside the duties of the inside the CV. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Yeah. So just like I'm applying for a Scrum Master and all the techniques and what is needed to be in the responsibilities of the job on the experience.
That is why we also had that there is support for your CV, right? So we'll support you for your CV. One of the things we do, and I believe we do well, is that we equip you to be able to stand on your own.
Okay.
So we'll be able to show you, we'll be able to guide you how to write proper CV. There's an opinion from some quarters that say that for every, I know that doctor is of that opinion too, that for every job you want to apply for, you need to adjust the CV to suit it. It's beautiful. Me, I don't have a problem with it. But for me, I have one solid CV. I just give you like that. So anything you are looking, you will see one there that would fit that particular thing. So what we do is that we support you so that you can create your own CV. We can show you the steps. So even when we're making the presentation, we said when you are certified as a Scrum Master, you could apply for other roles, Agile Project Manager, delivery lead, delivery manager, and all the rest. So you need to know how to adjust your own CV yourself to suit that purpose.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Felix, quickly. I think we should be rounding off soon.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Anu, for this wonderful privilege. I've got like about 4 questions I need to ask.
Okay.
Firstly, I actually want to say, for me personally, I'm actually doing a master's in data science. I'm currently writing my dissertation. And looking at the 3 courses we have in place, which would you advise for me to do like a combined on that can really synchronize with my data science degree? I've always wanted to do like business analysis. I'm more like an entrepreneurial kind of person. Like I'm very inclined into business and all that. So which would you suggest that I actually go for?
Okay, I'll let Doctor, please, can you respond? Because for me, everything looks like Scrum Master for me, because that appears as like the easiest.
Anyway, thank you very much.
Kelly saying that that I'm lazing around. Scrum Master, what? You are just flexing.
Anyway, thank you very much. You know, because my own wife also is a data scientist, and now she's a certified Scrum Master, product owner, Agile delivery, Agile project and delivery manager. And being a data scientist, you know, I could remember one of the interviews she attended. One of the joker that she used for them was that after giving the whole introduction, mind you, I am also a Scrum Master, Agilist, which blah, 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 blah. And they were like, wow, I help my team to do this, do that, blah, 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 blah. So when you say, because like Mr. Kelly mentioned earlier, many organizations are, you know, they are shifting from the traditional ways of doing projects to agile method, and they need people that are agile. They need, as a matter of fact, you find yourself where even when you get a job, you see people telling you, "What is this agile? We just got one D365 developer in my team. I need to start teaching how to estimate and do all those stuff because he has never worked with any agile team before. So I will suggest it is a soft landing for you if you go for Scrum Master, except if you want to become a product, technical product owner, data product owner. You see all those roles, funny roles, data product owner, and being a data scientist, easily you can find yourself in that role, being a product, data product owner. And more so that many companies are also making use of data and they need people to help them with their data, to bring insights from their data. So it's either the Scrum Master or the product owner. But to me, there is no way you have the experience of product owner that you won't fit in as a business analyst. That's just the truth.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so thank you very much for that. The second question is now about the training starting next week. I've got some things in place already, like I'm actually doing dissertation. I've got my driving test I'm preparing for. I just passed my theory test. Then I've got work schedules and all that again, which I would like to start by next week. But if all things being equal, I'm not able to start next week and I want to start with the next batch, how will I be able to get the current date for the next batch so I could prepare ahead of?
Okay, just pick my number. Let's talk.
Okay.
Let's see what would happen.
Okay.
So that we can work
something else.
together. Yes.
Okay, so and another thing again I still wanted to ask is the 20% discounts will it apply to all batches? The 24 hours and 20% discounts. Is it applicable to all batches or just for this batch alone?
From where we stand now, it applies to this batch. From where we are now, it is for this batch.
Okay, so peradventure, if my schedule didn't allow me to start up by next week and I need to start up with the next batch so that I can place priority on, stuff and schedule myself, definitely that means I won't be able to get the discounts for the next batch.
From where we are now, no, you won't be able to get a discount. I do not want to sound as if I want to market us. Okay, let me sound as if I want to market us now. One of the things you may want to consider is to take advantage of this and do. Are you in the UK?
Yeah, I'm in the UK.
So you could use the 20% discount with Klarna if you qualify for Klarna and initiate a payment on it. So instead of paying, if you are doing 2 courses, instead of paying 1.5, that would be 1.5 less 20%. And it's 3 spread. Yeah. So you just pay the first 1/3,
100,
then you'd have secured that. That's like marketing to you if you
that will make sense. No, it's cool. At least I understand now.
Okay.
I think I will have to create a Klarna account. The last one is very important. I'm sorry about that. The last one is my goal is actually to actually end up being a consultant. I've actually imagined how consultants are really earn lots of money in this country.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think how can I actually transit from any of this road to becoming like a full-time consultant?
There is a beautiful part for it. It's a pity we didn't bring one of our friends in. Doctor, we were together when Mr. Jerry was sharing with us of that agile or something.
Yeah.
That Nigerian. Yeah. That guy was just too good. He is a consultant, right? And he was earning Buruku cannot be said in
I can imagine.
He was earning bad money.
Bad, yeah.
He was not doing full time. He was doing only contracts. And the guy was just too much. I needed to follow him myself on LinkedIn. One fabulous Nigerian in the UK, very excellent. That the management, when it does retro, there's what we call retro. When it does retro, management come to his retro to come and listen to the guy, how good that guy is a consultant in the agile space.
Oh.
So there's that part. I just tell you, if you want.
And we have the like of TJ as well.
Oh, Dr. TJ. Okay, we'll talk about TJ. So that answers your question for the sake of time. I drop a poll. Please, if you have some time, you could fill out the poll for us. Let me see if there's any other question. How many months is the practical session? Very beautiful question. The practical session starts from when you finish the class. We have not pegged it. We made it open so that students, as much as possible, will continue to benefit. But at least in the first 1 month, 2 months, possibly 3 months after, you may want to be there when you feel that you are good, because the practical session is that we give them, we break them into groups, then we give them scenarios to work on. Then we share experiences, what happens on the job. We do 2 live sessions on those various tools, Jira, Confluence, version 1, and all the rest, right? So it expands, it stretches beyond 1 month. We've not pegged it now because we don't want it to be like I wanted it more, but of course we should peg it too. Yeah, Mr. Kelly.
Okay, thank you. I wanted to talk about that consultant issue. Yes, being a consultant just means being a subject matter expert. So if you, depends on, yes, you have the data analytics degree, you could look at business. I know they were giving you, everybody was pushing you towards their side. Yeah, I understand. But you could look at it that, okay, where do I want to apply this data analytics and skill that I have, or this knowledge that I have in business improvement? Perfect. You could look at business analysis. Then you could also work on, okay, the part I want to be able to use data to answer this question. For instance, I want to use data to answer the question of processes. I want to use data to answer the question of finance. There are a lot of things you could look at, but just be consistent in that aspect and be a subject matter expert. That's what makes you a consultant. Like, you know that process, you know that thing perfectly well. Do you understand?
You know
that thing perfect. Yeah. So you look for where you can put your A game. You look for where you can be stelling, and then you become a. That's just the way it is in medicine. You have a arts consultant. It's not like you don't know anything about the leg. You are a cardiologist, I mean, what do they call them? Cardiologist, right? It's not as if, but this is where you are most comfortable. You understand? So you could do your personal research around everything, then now tell yourself, okay, data will be more applicable in this, in that. There are some, even as a product owner, there are still some places you can't work because you don't know what they do. I once had an interview in a blockchain company as a product owner. I was happy. I entered the interview, and that was, when you are being interviewed and at the end you're asking for advice. It was 2 ladies, and when they asked me some things about blockchain, I didn't know one thing about blockchain, but I was just thinking as a product owner, I'll bamboozle them. And when they asked me technicalities about blockchain, I now asked them, okay, is there anything you can advise me? Like, I got tired of life. I was just waiting. It remains, I was at a point, I just wanted to switch off the internet because I did not know anything about it. You get? So it also goes without saying that even in whatever certification you decide to get, you cannot channel your applications towards the industry or the organization where you think will be preferable for you to grow. You understand? So that's the way it will work for you. You can't just take any job at a point, or maybe you take the first job to get your foot in the door. Then you start thinking of, okay, this is what I want to do. Which industry, which organization will aid me along that path? That's the route to being a consultant, and best of luck with it.
Thank you so much. That was very helpful.
Okay, another question on the chat. Are there ways I can format my CV if I've never had any professional experience before? Let me turn the question around. If you do not have any experience, what do you want to capture on your CV? So even if you have the most beautiful CV, but you don't have any experience, the CV would only open the gate for interview for you. When you get to the interview, what will you say? Will now look like someone that has just scammed them, right? So can you format your CV if you've never had any professional experience? You can format your CV and put anything. I can't say yes that you can. Anything you want to put there, even if you want to say that you worked with the White House, if you have a reference for White House, fine. But the further question will now be, what do you then now want to go there to defend? So what you can't defend, you shouldn't add on your CV. What would not add up, you should not add on your CV. If there are references that will not come through, should not come on your CV. I believe that I've answered that, Abimbola. If you need to us to discuss further, you could reach across to me. Ellen, please, quickly. Ellen, please.
Okay, yeah, okay. Thank you for the opportunity. Sorry, I joined a bit late, and I would have really loved to listen to the introduction and what all this entails. So my question is, how soon are you going to still have a session? So that
I can't say yet when we would have another session, but this session is recorded.
Okay.
So I dropped my contact on the chat.
Okay.
So please, you could reach out to me when the session is fully published. We could send a link to you.
Okay, that's right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Toye, please.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Sorry, at first I'm joining from work, so it's a bit difficult for me. My supervisor was around, that's why I didn't pick the first time you called me. Yeah, you know, some of us that are joining, this is the first time we're joining this type of training. Even though we've heard of it, we've been hearing about it, but because we want to advance ourselves and our capacities, some of the informations I personally have not gone through them well to differentiate between the product owner, the business analyst, and all that. And the session we had, where the doctor was explaining some of these things, I didn't quite get them. I don't know if we're going to have a one-on-one to clearly, you know, understand the differences and the roles.
Okay.
So I just wanted to know this. Then secondly, this one is just a joke, kind of. Where I got the information about this training, they told me that you don't need to do anything. All you need to do is join the training, and then after the training, you get a job. And I'm like, where does that type of thing happen? So I was surprised up until, so some of the adverts, some of the persons that do the adverts for this program, they give a false narrative. I think I saw, it was a YouTube video I saw concerning this, and it was somebody I knew. So he was the one advertising this program, and I felt, okay, I'm going to participate. I'm going to join to see what exactly is happening. So some of the details they say on those adverts are a bit too, I don't know how to put it.
Okay.
But it was a false narrative. I know that there's nowhere you go to for this type of training that you don't pay for it. So thank you. I just wanted to drop this.
All right. For trainings that are not paid for, what I want to do for anyone, what I want to say, if anyone wants a training that are not paid for, I think one of the best resources we could make use of is the internet. And there are lots of resources on the internet that could help us with that. I do not again want to sound as if I'm marketing, but we could just think of it for one moment. If an organization has a training that is free, they also have what is paid for. Those who make free antivirus, they also have paid for antivirus. So why? There will be a difference. There will be what will be offered more when you pay. And that decision has to do with us. I may not want to make direct reference to the post that you saw. I may need to search that online myself to see. I may want to feel that maybe some other things might have been added to it.
Sorry, engineer. I think what he was referring to is the free training we gave on YouTube. I think that is the one he's referring to, I guess.
Oh, those audio visuals, right?
Yes, yes.
Just as I mentioned too, free online, there are lots of resources. For instance, one of the young ladies around me told me some time ago that he wants to go for a program and use LinkedIn, those LinkedIn courses. I told her directly, you are only wasting your time. Those things, they are not in-depth, they are not thorough. And one of the reasons is because they are free. Those who make free version, they also make paid version. So those we have some resources on our YouTube channel that will give you, and the intent for making those is to build a foundation for somebody that doesn't know what Scrum is at all. Go through that resources and have an idea, have a feel about it. What is Agile? What is Waterfall? From that, you'll be able to understand what is Scrum, what is Kanban. If somebody says yesterday's weather, what is it? You know, so those will be able to give you those knowledge. But again, it could be here and there. All right, I think we've exhausted all the questions we have. Any other question before we round off now? Okay, if I do the combined training, I'll get 2 certifications, right? Yes. For at the end of each training, you will sit for an exam. Let me say that clearly. So it won't be that they didn't tell us that we will sit for exam or test. Let's call it test. Exam always sound more difficult than test. You will sit for a professional test and pass and have certification. So each of those courses, you will sit for a test and have certification. Also, what is the name of your organization? Is it Enroute? Yes, Enroute X Limited. I would write, I'm just typing that. Is a UK organization. You could check our website. We have a website, same name, enroutex.co.uk. The phone numbers are there. You could chat us directly also and get all the needed information. I think that's the last question. Any question before we call it a date? All right, and Mr. Oshedo, any last words from you? We're rounding off now.
I just want to say thank you all for coming out. Let me put it that way, like say we do party. Thank you all for coming out. Yes, there are free resources everywhere. Okay, I'll leave you with this joke. I saw an advert for a change. Is it a change analyst or one change job that's really piqued my interest? The money was good. So I went through the job description and they said I needed a change something certificate. So I entered Google immediately, searched for the certification. I saw one of those ads when you search for a certification on Google, and I called the company immediately. No, I filled their form. So the next day they called me and said, are you interested in doing the certification? Why not? I'm interested. And the next thing they told me was the thing was £1,800. Or if I was to pay that day, it would be 900.
Wow.
Right? And I said, oh boy, this thing is magical. 50% discount. Just that means you people should have just told me It's 900. So I told the guy, okay, I would discuss it with my wife. That's once you're married, that's your usual excuse when you don't want to do something. I'll discuss it with my wife. So that's why I told him I'll discuss with my wife. And about 3 days later, he called me and said, are you still interested? And I thought, guy, when you said 24 hours, you are doing promo for 900. As the 900 come to this day, he said, are you interested, Mr. Kelly? I said, I'll give you a feedback later today. And the next day he called me again. Like, I'll be like, for 1 week, when I still owed this price at 900. So what I'm just trying to say is, yes, there's also for certification. We all know the general feeling here is that once you come to the UK, you do small care job, you get one small certification, then you land big role. You understand? So a lot of people have made a market out of certifying people, right? And then they know, okay, you save money. And I asked the guy, once I get this certification, how soon do you think I'll get a job? He said, you'll see the difference. Once you just include this on your CV, within the next 2 to 3 months, you're getting a job. I said, God. So there's marketing around this thing, there's whatever around this thing, there's a business of certifications, which is the truth. As much as we would like to ignore that part, it's the truth. There's a business of certification, but you just have to be circumspect when you're making your decision about the kind of certification you need to get and where you need to get the certification. I tell you, not all certifications are useful. I remember when we served that time, they were saying if you do NIM certification, you get job in bank immediately. It was a lie. A lot of people use the NYC Alawi to do NIM. Nothing happened. You understand? So at the point, you need to just put time in researching this thing by yourself, put time in knowing the team that is going to give you the certification, the support they offer, and then make your decision. Thank you.
All right, Doctor.
Please, excuse me.
Yes.
I sent you a message that I was going to ask question.
Okay. Quickly, please.
Didn't reply to that. My name is Olumide. I said I would like to ask a question. A quick one. All the agile Scrum Master, is he in any way related to project management professional PMP in any way?
Okay, good question. The PMP.
Then you talked about lean. Sorry, yeah, PMP. Then you talked about lean. I have an understanding of lean as well. So I would like to know how these things are related. Then secondly, very quickly, for someone that has been, a professional in another field, the person has been exposed to construction, he has been an health and safety professional, he has been exposed to other certifications and experience, in terms of construction. Then if someone is building a CV, would one hide those experience that someone have had over time, and it will just be like, okay, the experience will just be based on the Scrum or product of a thing, or will the previous experience still reflect, or can someone just merge it together and probably will be an additional advantage? Those are my questions. Thank you.
For the second question, so those are some of the things, so those are some of the benefits of signing up for such a training as this. There are lots of information that could go around it. So as much as those are some of those things that we deal with, we need to look at those peculiarities to know how to deal with them. And we do that mostly in some of the trainings that we do. But for the first question, Doctor, would you like to take the first question? Waterfall, PMP, that's waterfall, and lean.
Yeah, thank you very much. In recent time, while trying to see how we can, find a midpoint between waterfall and agile. We later come about wagile. So but what happens is that not all projects is suitable for agile. Not all projects is suitable for waterfall. the main issue there is that most projects, we don't usually have a clear path, what we want to do, how we want to go about it. And that is where Agile comes in. But in a situation where we have projects that we know what we want to do, we know amount of effort that is going to require us to get it done. We know the number of people we need. We know the cost. We know everything, how it's going A to Z. Then waterfall is good for such project. So now companies are now looking for people that have these two experience that can add agile value to waterfall. They know what they are doing, they know how they are doing it, but because of the values in agile, they want someone that can use agile to do waterfall for them. So as a matter of fact, in my own organization currently, there is one of our team, we do agile. It's not my team anyway, but one of our teams, that is what they do, because they know what they want, they are what they are doing, they know how to do it, but just to manage resources as well, they still make use of Scrum. They use Scrum framework to do their waterfall, and they are getting the results that they want. So, and even in PMP now, if you go into their current curriculum, you will see it there, agile methodology as a topic, which they explain extensively on, agile methodology. So not just unlike before where we do Prince 2 and the likes. Now, without all those Prince 2, all those things, you can even work as a project manager, because the knowledge that how to start a project from ideation to completion, to release. So all these things, we are able to do it within the frameworks of Agile. So if to answer your question, I think there is a close relationship between these two methodologies, and the situation of the project you are dealing with determines which of these methodology you employ. Thank you very much.
About Lynn?
Hello? Any other thing, please?
I said, what about Lynn? The other aspect.
Oh, Lynn. Oh, okay. Thank you very much. Now, when
Toyota production.
Now, under Agile, we have different frameworks. In Agile, we have one of the frameworks of Agile is what you want to get a certification, which is Scrum. So we have other frameworks. We have Kanban, we have Lean, we have Extreme Programming, we have Nessus, we have Krista, we have SAFe, which is a scale Agile. So we have, depending on the type of project you are working on, that determines which of these frameworks of Agile you will make use. Mind you, we have what we call best practices as well, which is part of the things we want to teach you, where we employ all these frameworks into just only one. We use, in Scrum, for example, I was telling one of my Scrum Master at work, where in our community of practice, why they were asking me to come and give a lecture to the whole organization on Agile, why they should make use of Agile, at the management level. So, and I was able to like, okay, guys, don't talk about Scrum, talk about Agile. Let them see different and how we incorporate all these frameworks into just one to bring value out of it. So I know, that Lean is a method of reducing waste to avoid waste, which I want to believe you know that. So all these things, I don't want to, because if I'm saying this, I want to go to the lecture part, and I don't want to do that. So let's just leave it there anyway. But it's part of the frameworks of Agile. All right.
Thank you very much, sir.
The last question. I won't even say anything to add to that. we've done 2 hours. It's been a wonderful session. I want to appreciate everyone that had joined into the session, and those that had reached across to me on chats. I would respond to all of them. I just related to someone while Doctor was talking. Those who are interested in the voucher, they should reach out to me. I've responded to a few persons that are interested. After the session, I will send the voucher to you and we could go through. You'll be able to use that on our website that would give you that discount amount. Then we can go further from there. All right. Thanks everyone for being on the call. It's been a wonderful time, and we wish you all the very best. Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Femosti. Femosti. How far now?
I did, my brother.
I want me go. No worry, we go talk.
No wala. No delay.
All right.
Yes, Papa. Later.
Yeah. Just trying to make sure that I've responded to all the chats. Olumide, I would respond to your chats on my phone. I will send the voucher to you. I think same with if I've not opened the chat, it's because I don't want to forget it. So in case anyone says that, I'll respond to all the chats. I think that's all. Igbagara, that is one Toye. If you are still there, please let's just chat so we can take that directly offline. Thanks everyone. Bye.